Sometimes the deepest lessons in a home are not shouted. They are poured quietly, like tea at sunset. A child watches how a mother prays before the day begins. A grandfather tells the truth even when it is costly. A grandmother keeps kindness in her hands long before a person can explain faith. They can feel it in the room. That is how many strong souls begin. In Paul's day, there was a young man named Timothy. Paul did not begin by correcting him. He began by remembering him. He wrote, "I remember your sincere faith." That is a beautiful thing to hear from someone who has watched your life. Not perfect faith, not showy faith, sincere faith, real faith, the kind that still holds on when the road is dusty and the night feels long. Paul says Timothy's faith lived first in his grandmother Lois and his mother Eunice. That means Timothy did not grow up with empty words. He grew up with a living path. He saw someone pray when worry came. He saw someone forgive when pride wanted a fight. He saw someone keep going after disappointment. Children notice more than we think. They do not only hear our beliefs, they learn our habits. Paul also told Timothy to fan into flame the gift of God. That is wise language. A fire does not stay strong by accident. It must be tended. Faith is like that too. If no one feeds it, life's winds can dim it. But with prayer, courage, truth, and love, the ember grows bright again. Not every season will feel easy. Still, a small flame can warm an entire night. Paul said, God does not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. That is not loud bravado. It is steady strength, power to do what is right, love to stay open-hearted, self-control to pause before we speak, spend, scroll, or react. In other words, the gift passed down is not just belief. It is a way of living when fear tries to take the wheel. The next generation does not only need our opinions, they need our steadiness. A young person may forget a long speech, but they remember the parent who apologized. They remember the aunt who stayed calm. They remember the uncle who kept his word. Faith is passed down in many small moments. A truthful apology, a prayer before travel, a kind word when stress is loud. These things become a map. So, if you are older, do not think your faith is wasted because it feels ordinary. Ordinary faith is often the strongest kind. And if you are younger, do not despise the small good things you inherited. You may be carrying more strength than you know. What was prayed over, you can still grow in you. What was modeled for you can become your own life. That is how the story keeps walking. A good legacy is not a heavy thing. It is a light that keeps finding another hand. And if the road grows dark, remember this: what is sincere can still shine. To read or listen to more Bible stories, subscribe and visit thenightlytales.com or the Nightly Tales app.